Yep.
Good afternoon and welcome everyone. On behalf of Harold's children, Tempest, Adrian, Christian and Eric, they would like to thank you all for joining them here today to say a last farewell to their much loved dad and your friend Harold George Smith, also known as Harry. I would also like to thank the Oakland Funeral Home for their caring service to the family during this emotional time. The family have asked me to invite you all to join them for refreshments after the service at the Fishers and Anglers Club, where you can share your memories of him and raise a glass or two. They also asked if you could sign the guest book when you arrive. Also, please take a moment to turn off your phones as this will interrupt any of the service that we're about to do. First, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Kathy Gibson and I am a funeral celebrant, and it is my privilege to have been asked to lead this ceremony through which you will focus on and celebrate Harry's life. In doing so, it is hoped to provide some comfort to those of you most affected by his passing. I know it will be with heavy hearts that you have made your way here today from far and wide and to pay your last respects. It demonstrates the esteemed regard in which you all held for Harry. I know there are some who, for circumstances beyond their control, could not make it today, but I am sure they will be thinking of you at this difficult time. When I say we are here to celebrate Harry's life, you may find it difficult to contemplate celebration when so many of you will be still struggling to come to terms with the pain of his loss. Loss raises all manners of questions and emotions, some of all sense of injustice for a vibrant, valuable life cut so short. A celebration of Harry's life is therefore vitally important, or what has it all been about? With that said, we all know we cannot change what has happened to Harry, but it is possible in time to accept and embrace the fragility of this life we all live. We can learn to make the most of our time so that no matter what lies ahead, we can strive to make a difference to the world and those we live among, just like Harry did. This ceremony today has been prepared with the help of Harry's friends and family, from the emphasis very much on his life and character. When I visited the family home last week, I noticed that Harry had a love for fishing, and not just any fishing, but deep sea fishing. Harry has won many awards for his angling expertise and has a huge marlin head mounted on his lounge room wall above the fireplace. There is also one of those comical fish mounted to the board that sings, "Don't worry, be happy." You will now listen to a short poem from Harry's best friend and fishing buddy, Franco. But before we hear tributes to Harry from other friends and family, and a moving eulogy written and delivered by Tempest, Harry's daughter. This poem is by Henry Van Dyke. I'm standing by the seashore. I'm standing upon the seashore. A ship at my side spreads her white sails to the morning breeze and starts for the ocean blue. She is an object of beauty and strength. I stand and watch her until at length she hangs like a speck of white cloud, just where the sea and sky come to mingle with each other. Then someone by my side says, "There, she is gone." Gone where? Gone from my sight, that is all. She is just as large in mast and hull, and spar as she was when she left my side, and she is just as able to bear her load of living freight to her destined port. Her diminished size is in me, not in her. And just at the moment when someone by my side says, "There, she is gone," there are other eyes watching her coming, and other voices ready to take up the glad shout, "Here she comes!" And that is what dying is, a horizon and just a limit of our sight. Thank you, Franco, that was lovely. Then we have a few more readings from friends and family members. We insert them there. Eulogy, read by Tempest. Hello. As I stand here, I see friends and relatives that have come great distances to be here for my dad. I am humbled and quite frankly impressed at how much he has touched your lives. I can only speak for myself, but when I think of how he touched my life, the first words that come to mind is admiration. I could stand here and list all the ways I admire him, but well, there would never be enough time in my life to tell you all. But I would like to share a few reasons why I admire my dad. First and foremost was his love and commitment for my mum, and not just marital commitment. He was committed to making her happy. It is very important to her. It became important to him. They were happily married for 25 years, and during her last days, his only concern was for mum's well-being and ours, not his. I also admire him because of the kind of dad he was to us, my brothers and me, after mum died. Yes, he loved us very much, but he also instilled in us a core value system that defined who we are. And that was a man who kept promises, honoured commitment. He was a man in integrity. Whenever we stumbled, he could have accepted our bitching and moaning and advised us to take the easy way out and quit. But he'd have none of that. He fully expected us to see things through, all the way to the end, without drama. Do it. It just needs to be done, he'd always say to me. If you're here today, and I thank you for that, that means that he touched your life in some way or another. That means that you'd miss him in some way or another. Yes, he will be missed. His fishing buddies will miss him on the trips that they took after Mum had gone, and his best mate Franco will have to carry on the legacy of going out deep sea fishing without him. His grandchildren will miss his giddy-up rides and the comfort naps on his favourite recliner, and his fishing tips, and how to hook a worm on the end of that line and cast it into the water. I will miss my dad, the source of my convictions. I will miss my inspiration. Today, my brothers and I say goodbye to our dad. We have been grieving for the past week as this loss was something we could not come to terms with just yet. Dad has now joined our mum, and we know that he is happy, but also know that he is not ready to meet her again at this time. But it seems someone had different ideas to that. He was a character and had a wicked sense of humour. He would joke around all the time, and his smile was infectious. That will be one of the hardest parts of losing him, not seeing that smile again and hearing him laugh. Dad was a mentor and someone we all looked up to for advice, and he would allow us to make our own mistakes but never said, "I told you so," and we appreciated him for that. Our dad will be a deep sea fishing and catching that ultimate kingfish somewhere up there in the big blue. We will all miss him very much and love him with all our hearts. Thank you, Tempest, that was beautiful. We will now take a few moments to reflect upon Harry, how he touched us all personally, and listen to a song that Harry loved before the words of committal, and some thoughts on the future as we conclude. The song you will hear has been especially chosen by Harry's family, reflecting his love and passion for deep sea fishing. This is also a time for prayer, if you choose to do so. Sailing by Rod Stewart is the song that they end up playing. Regardless of status or creed, everyone leaves a trace of themselves behind in our thoughts, whether by kind word or deed or through achievement, an example. And we are each unique with our strengths and weaknesses, and a story of all of our own to tell. The committal. I will now read a poem from Indian Prayer. When I am dead, cry for me a little. Think of me sometimes, but not too much. Think of me now and again, as I was in life, as some moments it's pleasant to recall. But not for long. Leave me in peace, and I shall leave you in peace. And while you live, let your thoughts be with the living. We leave Harry in peace and bid him a loving farewell. It was Harry's wish that when his time came, we would honour him by having a drink on his behalf. Thank you, everyone. This concludes our tribute to Harold George Smith. And then the music plays When I Get Where I'm Going by Brad Paisley. Thank you.